So you're in Comrades Limited, and you can see Companies Act and King Code are being addressed in this question. You have got 12 minutes reading time. This is what you should have picked up in that time. You're the audit partner, so just to note your experience here, you are the main man in this engagement team. At CTA Inc., here and referred to as CTA, a firm of registered auditors. CTA has been the auditors of Rads Limited, so now I can see it's a public company, so from a Companies Act perspective, I have to have company secretary, I have to have an audit committee, and I have to have an external auditor. Here and referred to as COM since its incorporation. You have been the partner in charge of the audit of COM for the past 5 years. So 5 years, we're starting to get onto a concern with regards to the Companies Act, partner rotation. What I could put here is the CPC in terms of long association for now. COM is a 31 March year end. Prior to the commencement of the current audit, you managed to secure the same audit team that performed the audit of COM for the previous year. So now you are going to be the auditor for the new engagement. So now what we've got here is non-compliance with the Companies Act because we have exceeded the time of partner rotation. And as soon as I've got non-compliance with the legislation, I now have non-compliance with King in terms of laws and regulations. I've got non-compliance with the CPC in terms of I've got a responsibility with regards to laws and regulations that are being broken. And I've now got a reportable irregularity. Understanding the entity. You set up a meeting with Carol Woosman, the financial director, on the 28th of March 2019. So I can see that this is just before year end. To discuss the changes that took place within the entity during the current period. Carol noted that there were no significant changes in the ownership structures of COM. Gift Makola has 56, Bruce Ford has 26, various minority shareholders have 15%, and unissued have 3%. So we have got some shares that are available to be issued. Carol noted that the board of directors of COM remain the same. So we've got Bob Mundler, the Chief Executive Officer, Hussein Blot, CASA, so now I've got CPC, Chairman and Independent Non-Executive Director, which is in line with what King says, Carol Woosman, the Financial Director, Eleanor Meyer, Lead Independent Non-Executive Director, so that's a requirement of King, and Costa Semena, CASA, so once again, also compliance with CPC is required, Independent Non-Executive Director. So now quickly look at my board structure. I do executive to non-exec. I've got 1 exec, 2 execs, only 2 executives. I've got 1 non-exec independent, 2 non-exec, 3 non-exec independent. So I meet the requirements here, and all of them are independent. So I meet the requirements of the majority there. Chair is independent non-exec, I'm happy. There's at least 2 executive directors, I'm happy. There's a lead independent non-exec, I'm happy. If I look at the diversity of it, we've got 3 ladies to 2 men, I'm happy with diversity. I'm happy with regards to some knowledge there, CASAs. I'm quite comfortable that they're meeting gender, race, and diversity. So board is looking good. Upon further discussions with Carol, you were informed that there had been no changes in the board committees or membership thereof. COM has the following committees: an audit committee with 3 independent non-executive directors. So that's correct. My biggest concern, they only have 3 independent non-executive directors and 1 is the chairman. So I've got non-compliance with King here because the chair of the board is on the audit committee. Risk committee, 2 executive directors and 2 independent non-executive directors. So once again, I've got non-compliance with King here because the majority should be non-exec and 2 to 2 is not. Remuneration Committee, 2 independent non-executive directors and 1 executive. That's non-compliance with King, because it should only be non-executives and the majority of those being independents. And nomination, 2 independent non-executive directors and 1 executive, so non-compliance with King here, because it should only comprise of non-executive. Social and Ethics Committee, 1 executive director and 2 independent non-executive directors, so that appears to be in line with King. You concluded the meeting with Carol with a request for all minutes of the Board of Directors meetings concluded during the 2019 financial year. You've included the minutes of the last meeting for the year in working paper WP1. Okay, so in WP1, minutes taking place on the 18th of March, so just before year end. In attendance, Bob, Hussein, Carol, Eleanor, Costa. That's all the Board of Directors. The agenda, securing of debt. All directors present voted in favor of immediately securing the mortgage bond of Runners Pty Limited, a company who intends on purchasing the remaining unissued shares in COM. So securing is financial assistance, and this is for the purchase of shares. And so we've got a section 44 in terms of the Companies Act. So they all voted in favor. A special resolution has been passed by the shareholders 2 months ago, so that's in compliance with Companies Act. It's got to be within 2 years of this decision. The directors agreed that there was no need to re-perform the solvency and liquidity test, as they had done this in the previous meeting. So now we've got non-compliance with the Companies Act, because they have to do liquidity and solvency for this financial assistance to be provided. The directors agreed that the provision of security was to be adequately disclosed in the financial statements. So at least they are disclosing it. Appointments of Company Secretary. Anna Negalio, Company Secretary, handed in her resignation 4 weeks ago. The Board of Directors had not found a suitable replacement, therefore postponed the matter to be addressed in the next board meeting taking place on the 13th of June 2019. So we are talking here March. So 4 weeks ago we're talking February. Now they're saying they're postponing it to June. So if I go March, April, May, June, that's 4 months. There's non-compliance with Companies Act here, because they are public. They have to have a company secretary, and they have 60 days to appoint, which they haven't. Once again, as soon as I've got non-compliance with Companies Act, guys, I've got all those other non-compliances. Draft financial statements. The Board of Directors approved the draft financial statements to date. The approval of the final financial statements will be made at the next board meeting after the financial year end. Draft financial statements have been attached as an appendix to the minutes included in the audit file. So here we go. So draft financial position of Comrades at 29 February 2019. So this is for 11 months of the year. We've got assets, equity, and our liabilities. So total assets, I'm looking at to total liabilities, and I can see that when I add them up, total assets are greater than total liabilities, so we are solvent. Liquidity, current assets are sitting up here, add them up to current liabilities. Ooh, current liabilities are greater than current assets, so not liquid. And so I have got here reckless trading, non-compliance with the Companies Act, Section 22, reckless trading. Also, very important to note, these are the financials at 29 February. They went and made the decision to secure the debt on the 18th of March, which means they were not liquid before the decision, therefore not after. So we've got non-compliance with the Companies Act there for sure. They didn't perform it now, but they aren't meeting the requirements anyway, which is also a requirement. Okay, so let's go have a look at the required. You're required, you've got 39 minutes. So, identify, so you have to pick it up from the scenario and discuss in detail the statutory, corporate governance and ethical concerns related to Comrades Limited for the year ended 31 March 2022. So when we say concerns here, we're looking at the negatives, the non-compliance. Limit your answer to the requirements of the following. We've got Companies Act for 16, King for 10, and then totaling 26. So, in terms of how I'm going to structure my answer, in order to prove that there is a non-compliance or a concern, I need to first put down the theory from the Act or the Code, and then I need to apply the information to this theory to prove the non-compliance or concern with compliance. So it looks like they're out of a lot, but if I can find the principles or the sections where I can see there are issues, I'm going to get some marks for literally going into my psyche handbook and putting down the theory. And then I'll get the mark for concluding once I've proved they haven't adhered to. So I have to use the information in the scenario, but I need to use my legislations too. Let's go and structure our solution. So we put down Companies Act and King, so that if I find a King thing first, I put it down. I'm not going to answer everything Companies Act, everything King. As I find an issue, I want to put it into my solution and get marks immediately.